Running back, top five.
I got Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, and then I have Aaron Jones, number
Mm.
three, and then Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara. Finally, saw some touchdowns last week.
Oh yeah, what a game! What a game from
Yeah.
Kamara. I got Eckler, Henry, Travis Etienne,
Oh, nice.
Alvin Kamara, and then Josh Jacobs. So Aaron Jones is actually my RB6, just because I think there's a little more,
Yeah.
like he's still splitting snaps with Dylan, even though he's trending up. But yeah, love Etienne, and is like he just like you said looks amazing.
Yeah, why the hell isn't he in my, oh, he's my running back six. Okay. Close enough. I was wondering why it wasn't my top five.
Who you high on?
I'm high on Isaiah Pacheco. I have him as the RB29. Consensus is RB39. He was announced as a starter heading into week 7. And he had a pretty underwhelming game. He only ran the ball 8 times for 43 yards, which led the team. And I think, people's expectations were probably way too high once they saw he was starting. It's not like he was going to get 20 plus touches in this game. It was a tough matchup against the Niners. They ranked third in DVOA against the run. But he could see a bigger role following the bye, and I do expect them to stick with him as a starter at least. And while this isn't an easy matchup, the Titans ranked first in DVO against the run. The Chiefs should have a pretty big lead for most of this game, so should allow Pacheco to get more carries, maybe punch one in for a touchdown. So just on a week where there's so many players on a bye, he is more of an RB3 flex play, despite the tougher matchup.
Yeah, I like that. I got him at RB28. So yeah, I'm right there. I have him about 10 and a half carries this week and a catch, which in a bye week crunch, that's RB28.
That's nice of you to project them for a catch. I'm not that generous, but at least in this kind of game script, we're not really banking on that. And then the other guy I like is on the other side, Dontrell Hilliard. I have him as the RB38. He's ranked as the RB40 on consensus, but I think he does have some pretty big upside here. The Titans have won 5 straight, so they haven't been in a trailing game script in a while. But he's still managed to see 4 more receptions in 2 of those 5 wins. And the only game where the Titans lost and Hilliard was active, he caught 3 passes for 2 touchdowns in week 1 against the Giants. And last week he saw 8 carries for 83 yards. I always thought Hassan Haskins was probably the handcuff to Henry. It does appear to be Hilliard. So this is a sneaky matchup for him in PPR formats, especially. So yeah, I like his upside in this matchup on a very heavy bye week.
Yeah, he's definitely the handcuff. Like they used him. They liked what he did last year, I think, in that role.
He was really good last year.
Yeah. So Haskins, Haskins starting to play a little bit more, but that's just because they're running so much that they have to get all 3 guys.
By the way, our passing projection for Malik Willis is way off last week. We had him,
I know,
like 150.
Yeah,
100 too high.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. We'll see. Tannehill, I think he has a chance to play this week.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't, that just bumps up Hilliard even more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's Etienne. I already talked about him. He's my RB3. He's a consensus RB7, but he's averaging 19 carries and 4 targets over his last 2 games. He's tied for the league lead among running backs with 6.2 yards per carry. He's also averaging 9.2 yards per catch. So his explosiveness is just showing pretty much every time he touches the ball. Vegas is 25th in fantasy points allowed to running backs. In the last 2 games, Vegas has allowed an average of 34 and a half touches, 187 scrimmage yards, and 1.5 touchdowns per game to opposing running backs. They've just been getting killed on the ground. Alvin Kamara last week, and the Texans running backs actually put a pretty good combined stat line, a bunch of catches as the week before. So love ETN. And AJ Dillon, he's higher. I got him higher than consensus this week. I think this is the week the Packers have not really been much positive game script either these last few weeks. So I think it's a great Aaron Jones week, but I also think on a bye week, Dillon moves up as well because basically this entire running game against Detroit that's allowing the 3rd most fantasy points per game to running backs. They're 30th in run defense DVOA. They're 29th in DVOA on targets to backs. And Dillon, he's been trending down a little bit in usage, but yeah, he's had 11 touches last week and he's had 11 or more touches in 6 of the 8 games. So I think a lot of it is just kind of that natural randomness of, game script, which the Packers haven't been in as much lately. So, it's still, and there's no guarantees this week, but the fact that the matchup is also good, I think gives him a bump because even if he only gets, 10 or so touches, they could be a lot more valuable against Detroit than some of the other teams they've been facing.
Yeah, I love this game script, potential game script area, like you said, for Dylan. And as somebody that has, Pollard, Dylan, or Hunt roster on like every best ball or season long team, my heart nearly stopped beating when I saw Dylan get tied up there. You see him get tackled, or his left leg just bent backwards. But thank God his legs were like tree trunks, and they didn't really phase him. So glad he didn't get hurt there, but that was a scary moment.
Yeah, definitely. All right, who you on?
I'm low on Michael Carter this week against the Bills. He's my RB25. ECR looks like it's RB21. And now he operated as a lead back last week. I figured that would be the case. They're going to ease James Robinson in. But this week, I expect Robinson's role to expand a bit. Now, granted, this is a matchup against the Bills, so the Jets will probably get blown out here. So Carter might be able to make up for it as a pass catcher. But as we've seen, Zach Wilson doesn't target running backs as much as, say, Joe Flacco does. So Carter's not a lock for anything more than 3 to 4 catches. So this is a really tough matchup for him. And I do think this is when we're going to start to see Robinson sort of eat into his workload a bit more. And then Tyler Algier, last week I was really high on him. He cashed in. He even had a pretty good receiving line. He got 3 balls for 46 yards and a touchdown, which was nice. But despite the easy matchup this week against, run funnel defense like the Chargers, the Falcons backfield could get super crowded this week. It looks like, Cordell Patterson and Damian Williams could come off the IR as soon as this week. So we'll have to monitor that. If they both return, I don't know how we're going to project this backfield, but it's certainly going to hurt Algier, especially since, Caleb Huntley, he's been playing really well too. So this could be like a 4 to 5 way running back committee. And that's only going to hurt Algier.
Yeah, I almost think they don't need Williams anymore. Like they could probably just cut him. Or he'd probably be a healthy scratch.
Like
I think.
Right now I'm actually projecting him for 0 touches.
Yeah.
He operated as like the starter in week 1, but yeah, a lot of things have changed since then. But certainly Cordell Patterson returning is going to eat into everybody's touch count. So that's something we have to monitor this week. So I have him projected to return in a lighter role, and it's still dropped Algier down to RB33 for me. And ECR is still really high at RB20.
Yeah, I think we'll get clarity on if Patterson is back in that, because he kind of hinted at that he was kind of ready to go, and he's eligible to come off. But that would definitely, Algier probably wouldn't be startable at all if Patterson's back. For me, Brian Robinson Jr., I have him RB29. He's the RB26 in consensus. He had a season low 8 carries last year, and a season low 25% snap rate last week as well. And his routes participation have been dropping for 3 weeks now, 24% to 23 to 8% last week. Minnesota's allowing the 8th fewest fantasy points per game to running backs, and they've really been strong, defending backs on the ground. Just 115 yards on 47 carries since week 5. That's just 2.5 yards per carry, and teams are only handing off 15.7 times per game against them over that span. So Minnesota really kind of stiffened up in a run defense, and I think Antonio Gibson is kind of winning that role back, that starter's role in Washington. He's kind of, they're not using him quite as much as they were before, but they're using him enough to make Robinson just kind of like an afterthought guy, like an early down guy in this matchup. In Minnesota, Washington is an underdog to Minnesota, so there's no guarantee that they're in a positive game script. Another guy is Darrell Henderson for me. Tampa Bay is just allowing 3.2 yards per target to running backs through the air. And Henderson, since Cam Akers went down, he's only averaging 8 carries per game. I know he had the illness last week, and we saw a lot of Ronnie Rivers, but Malcolm Brown also saw more carries than usual. So it's Akers didn't get traded. So
no, he didn't. Nope.
Right. So and they said he might be back if he doesn't get traded. So there's just too many question marks for me in his backfield with Henderson right now. So I have him well outside of the top 3.
Yeah, I don't know how we can even project this backfield right now. And are you going with the Rams running back? Oh, how dare you! I'm
actually gonna let's go Henderson, because the thing I don't know, is Rivers even on the active roster, or is he elevated?
I don't know. Well,
I think he's elevated.
Kyron Williams might make his season debut, and they're super high on him. And then like, how do you project Cam Akers? Are they gonna how awkward is that gonna be? They didn't trade him.
Yeah, this is
Like this is
it's a
a
mess.
mess. So
It's
what
a
do you
big
got?
mess.
So
Let's
what's
go.
what's
Let's go
is all
Hendo.
like all bets are action now, or do we need like some stipulation or?
I mean, I think Hendo will be active, so we'll go with him. Like I was gonna go Rivers, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
but
let's
this
go.
this is live, like no matter what
Yeah.
happens.
Like even
Okay,
So
let
like
me
he could, even if he doesn't play a snap, which I think. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't, but I'm gonna go
right.
with
Let me
scrimmage yards for
oh,
Henderson this
scrimmage
week.
yards. So
Yeah,
rushing and receiving.
yep.
Okay.
Let's go with over under 36.5.
Damn, that's going to be very close. So I had 26 for the rushing yards, and I'll just look at his about 10. Oh, God, I'm right there. 36 and a half. Just with all the moving parts, I'll go with the under.
Makes
Just
sense.
I rather invest in his floor. And he was limited last week because he was sick, right?
Yeah,
Like I don't really
that's
know what
the
was going
wild
on.
card in all of this.
But yeah, I think Kyron Williams, he was an elite pass catching back, so I think he'll eat into that role. And then yeah, I don't know what's up with Akers or Rivers or Malcolm Brown. God, what a disaster!
Yeah,
The whole
man.
offense is a disaster, and Cooper Kupp is banged up. But yeah, just either I'll go with the under, but this is gross.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it. It really devolved quickly into just
uh,
the whole offense. But
so where's Odell Beckham gonna go? Obviously, it won't be to the Rams.
the
I guess
Giants, I
that's.
don't
Oh, I
know.
love that. Oh, could you imagine?
He could. I mean, I think the Bills are still obviously on the table. With his boy Von Miller, but we'll see what happens.
Does he have any bad blood with the Giants? Like any
No,
rumor?
not nah. It was only
Oh,
I
okay.
think the Gettleman or whoever, like the last.
Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't.
Actually, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.